Procedures and strategies. The intervention of the school psychologist is operationalized using different procedures and activities, with a preferential preventive and promotional perspective focused on solutions. Considering the specifics of the school context, the psychologist must be able to assess the possibilities and limits of its intervention, considering a set of theoretical assumptions, scientific, ethical, and deontological. Specific principles for safeguarding the superior interest of the child and young person. Informed consent and the respective authorization of the legal representative. Privacy and confidentiality inherent to the entire evaluation process and psychological intervention. Respect for the limits in the professional relationships they establish and observance of other care inherent to the assessment and intervention. The procedure relating to student signaling as well as the criteria to be considered in terms of timing, type and intervention priorities must be defined in the internal regulations of the service. Situations of exception which justify the absence of formal signing and immediate intervention or the absence authorization of the legal representative must be safeguarded. Regardless of the procedures and strategies to be used, the intervention must be holistic with reflection in 5 vectors: cognitive, emotional, behavioral, motivational, contextual. Models of intervention. It is up to the school psychologist to outline the modality of intervention appropriated to the needs and characteristics of students and the educational community, with reference to scientific knowledge available on good practice. The intervention modalities must be individual or in groups. The provision of service at a distance should be considered valid in view of your potentialities, both in terms of access and in terms of the profitability of resources. The use of ECT is a complementary way to face-to-face interventions, allows the provision of integrated, innovative, and flexible services. Social networks, chat rooms, Skype, blogs, email, and school websites can all play a role. The use of technology can help students to develop skills in managing career, namely to explore, build, and restructure information in an active, allowing them in this way a direct manipulation of the information and a greater involvement in the decision making. The great expansion of information available on the internet has allowed, in the domain of orientation, the access and exploration of several resources as instruments of evaluation and database. Competency profile school psychologist. The school psychologist promotes the cognitive, social, and emotional development of students, collaborating with teaching and non-teaching staff, family, and partners to create learning environments safe, healthy, and containerized. Hold the specialty of educational psychology are part of the teams that in schools support students and teachers in the teaching, learning, teaching process. To this end, they use their knowledge, in-depth studies on child and adolescent psychology, developmental psychology and learning, career psychology, human behavior, school organization, and context of learning. In addition to this basic training, they must have the following skills. Base competencies learning. readiness to learn, communications, information management, problem solving, relational, transversal competencies, flexibility, resilience, responsibility, establishment of objectives and priorities, teamwork, technical skills, in-depth knowledge of school psychology and education models, domain of different models and modalities of psychopedagogical support, in-depth knowledge of career psychology, understanding the foundations of the evolutionary dynamics of society, in-depth knowledge of models, methods and techniques of psychological and domain in its application, domain of the methods and techniques of dynamization of groups and their application, domain of the process of integration, systematization and transmission of written information, skills for writing reports, opinions and other formal documents, knowledge and respect for the principles inherent to the code of ethics and deontology of Portuguese psychologists, in-depth knowledge of the legislation in force in the field of education, training and areas, adjacent areas, as well as in relation to the exercise of the functions of a school psychologist. Work conditions. In order to guarantee the quality of service provided in the field of psychology and guidance in the school context, there is a set of conditions that must be ensured. Workspace with conditions that guarantee the principles of quality, privacy and confidentiality. Update technical instruments, measured and adapt to different target audiences. In-service training, supervision, intervention, and participation in other activities that contribute to the quality of the service provided. Compliance by the school's governing and management bodies with the limits of the performance of the psychologist, namely regarding the deontological code of these professionals and their implications in terms of practice in a school context. Participation in school structures, taking knowledge of the information and activities, and actively participating in the analysis, reflection, and decision-making at an organizational level. Elimination of gaps in the provision of services through the placement of technicians in line with the school calendar. Inclusion of these services in the structuring documents of the grouping, as well as participate in your organization building. Definition in the work plan and time schedule for planning, preparation of activities, participation in meetings, and other actions to support the intervention.